Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Medieval 2 Total War Definitive Edition here today on the channel with episode 9 of my Holy Roman Empire series. Here today we're going to continue our war against the Portuguese and the Moors, and we might even open up a battle and a fight on the Eastern Front. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really much appreciate it. Keeps the channel ticking on through. Alrighty, let's deal with these pesky and poxy Portuguese. I guess that's what the Emperor's been calling them around the last couple of parts in the general speeches. But anyway, let's get stuck into them. It should be a good fight for the city of Lisbon.
Duty has brought me here, despite the many wounds that I have suffered and the scars that I bear. Duty to the Empire and to you, my fine soldiers. I mean to lead you to victory, if God wills it. Cheer, servants of the Empire! Cheer and put fear in the hearts of the fish-reeking enemy. That way, they'll be less inclined to dispute our right to victory, because these Portuguese are fishermen, not soldiers.
So we will have to be a little bit cautious and careful in this fight, because there's a bit of an absurd amount of artillery spam by the Portuguese. 3 units of catapults, 2 ballista. The last thing we would want is a roaming, ravenous shock, like a ballista bolt or a fiery, flamey catapult shot to hit one of my generals. So I think what we're best to do is advance, close the distance between us and no man's land and the enemy combatants. Try and swing hard and neutralize those artillery pieces with my cavalry and keep my general on moving. Because once we've destroyed this Portuguese army, we're going to be laughing. We should be able to march upon Lisbon and finishing off the last of the Portuguese. Not the last episode, episode 7, we fought a pretty good war against them in the Spanish region, like still in the Basque country, near where the Kingdom of Navarre was and stuff, near Pamplona. Then we dealt with the Spanish and the Sicilians in the last, and hopefully here today we can finish off the last of the Portuguese. We've been a bit of a pain in my side this series. We declared war upon them, obviously, when they took Wales in Britannia, which is hilarious. That's when the war officially was declared and kicked off. There was a little bit of a skirmish in France, then we pushed over the Pyrenees, and now we're going to take core heartland Portuguese territory, like where actual modern day Portugal is, which is good. Alright, let's move up my crossbowmen as well. We do lack cavalry in this fight, which might be a little bit concerning, especially trying to swing around and hit those artillery pieces. Thankfully they don't have too many skirmish cabs, so we should be able to make do. But we're still continuing with this campaign. The main objective is to, look, you know, I think I want to try and get rid of all the Catholic factions. Be the undisputed ruler of Christendom. Oh, gotta watch out for that catapult strike. Getting a little bit too close there for my liking. And basically control the papacy. I think being the only Catholic faction, that would be cool. Like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We'll sort of leave the East and the Orthodox factions. Well, maybe we'll try and take out some of the Ayyubid settlements of Egypt, because they will hold Jerusalem and Alexandria and Cairo, which would be really significant for us. Okay, so we're advancing, and some of the lighter spearmen are capitulating, which is fantastic. And then we'll be able to nearly get Iberia fully under our control. But speaking of other factions that aren't obviously Catholic, the Moors declared war upon me, which is super annoying. They kind of surprise attacked me in that last episode, so we're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. They're going to be coming at us thick and fast. Okay, so we've got some additional reinforcements coming on in as well. And there's some little remnants remaining, but mostly the Portuguese army is in, well, a decent and solid retreat. Alrighty, let's try and run down as many of them as we can. Nearly capitulated now, fully. I think they're just withdrawing. Some of them haven't fully disengaged, to be exact. There we go, got him now. Yes. Run down the cowardly foe for the Reich. Oh my god, we only lost about 300 there. If they wish to fight today, let them come like men. Healman, and we can march upon Lisbon now. We're not going to be attacking one turn, which is a little bit inconvenient. We're going to have to wait and build up some siege equipment. Alright, Emperor Henry will swing towards Granada, and then we'll go to Cordoba as well. Let's get some better quality knights. Thankfully, Spain and Sicily seem to have quite built up castles compared to what we've taken in Central Europe. Maybe because they've just had more time to build up. But we're going to be able to get most of our knights from Iberia, which is awesome. Alright, back up in the north against the Danes. We have to deal with the Hamburg situation. Mandorf has moved up there, married to the former emperor, the former Kaiser's daughter. Now, the Hungarians have actually attacked me in Budapest. I think we'll fight this one. The Hungarians have been a little bit of a scourge on me, and we've got Prince Conrad, the former emperor, here. And I recognise that name. Did he? Yes, because we had the Siege of Constantinople in the last episode, didn't we? The defence. So we've got Orwin von Kessel, and we've got Prince Conrad swinging on over to help him out. As while they went to Constantinople because a crusade was called, we swung around and took Budapest, their capital, which they're keen and eager to reclaim after their failed crusade. The Poles have joined, so there could be a potential Polish army we have to deal with. But let's deal with the Hungarians now.
I must tell you that being killed will damage your chances of promotion. Ha! I do like my little jokes, I fear. But when this is all over, we'll drink to victory. I'm sure a few peasants can be set to cleaning up the field while we enjoy our inevitable triumph. Our Hungarian foes should never have left the stables where they were birthed. The reek of horse dung suits them better than the honest air of a battlefield. We will shortly geld them and break them, or I am no true servant of the Empire. With God's good graces we shall strike them down. With God's good graces we shall strike down a quarter of our enemy's army today. Courage will be our watchword. Despair theirs. If God wills it, I will die content here, for I have fought besides the finest soldiers in the world. I would be in no other place, and have no other friends than good Germans and good soldiers of the Empire. But talk of death is too soon. I would rather share the honor of this battle with you, brave Germans.
Okay, welcome to the lands of the Horse Lord. Welcome to Hungary. Nice snowy battle. Let's bash these Magyars and beat them into submission. Pretty decent looking army built here with Prince Conrad as well. We've actually got properly, decently armoured spearmen. A couple of mercenaries here and there just to sweeten things up. And we've got a nice array of skirmishers with crossbowmen and bowmen. A little bit light on the chevrons, I'm not going to lie. It could be better on that front. But a nice diversity there. Also, we've got some chivalric knights as well, which is a nice touch. So let's charge on there. And a little engagement between us and the Hungarians kicked off. And they've got some Bulgarian and Bosnian units in their ranks as well. Alright, so let's just slightly rotate this. And they do have some where they're dismantled. I really quite like the look. That light pink and green of Hungary looks so cool. Hungary is quite a cool faction to play as. I have fond memories of my Medieval Kingdoms Total War Attila 1212 AD campaign as Hungary. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so we're annoyingly getting to that stage in this campaign towards the mid-period where a lot of these armies have catapults. So you can lose a huge chunk of your army and infantry if you're not careful to a wild, flaming catapult shot. So although we attacked the Hungarians here, it does look like they've advanced. The madmen want to push up and take the initiative. A little bit of a stutter there. Yeah, I'm still getting used to playing Medieval 2 on Windows 10. Like, the performance is crap, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I don't know what it is. It's got something to do with, like, I feel like the camera is, like, really speedy and sensitive as well. Like, oh, good shot there by the catapult. Oh, and another. We're going to have to neutralize that, but we haven't got much cavalry. We're going to have to stack more cavalry while... if the AI continues to get more artillery. Yeah, I don't know, let me know. I don't even know if I'm on Windows 10. Windows 11? I don't know. Like, Windows 10 and 11, I think it's got pretty bad performance. For, Medieval. Oh, that's getting dangerously close there. Oh, we're going to have to move you back. Oh my god, that was lucky, actually, in hindsight. We nearly got sniped out there. Nearly got sniped down. Alright. Let's give out some attack orders. Balance of power-wise, we're doing alright. 60. 65% within our favour. Let's just try and swing around. Alrighty. There we go. Yeah, so they're making the rotation well. Just isn't enough to neutralise those artillery pieces. Because that could have been really costly. Prince Conrad, future emperor, nearly taken out by a catapult. Flaming balls. A flaming ball. After losing a couple of his men, now he's like, you know what, stuff this. I'm going to swing around and try and help. Stop his fellow Christians getting burnt to a little old crisp. Alright, most of these guys are shaking now as well. Okay. Oh, oh god, that scared me. That notification always makes my heart skip a beat. And now they're starting to retreat. Okay, well, instead of sitting back being a little bit passive, we've been soaking up, using all that defensive pressure on them. Now we can advance. Thankfully, we got the RNG of taking out the general pretty early on there. If they didn't lose him, they could have very well held on for a little bit longer. So the Hungarian resistance, after losing their capital, now we've thrown them back. We've pushed back their assault. Cute. Alright, so we can continue our invasion of Romania and Transylvania, essentially. They wouldn't have too many forces in and around Budapest, you'd think. Also got to deal with the Sicilians. But they might have taken some Moorish territory. But you would imagine that they haven't got... They've only got a couple in North Africa. But so far we're doing well. But yeah, we're still continuing on our main objective of sailing to the New World. And trying to get rid of the Catholic factions. That's what I want to try and aim and do. We're going to get close to a world conquest. But I don't want to make a claim for that. Because, I don't know. Like, it's nearly a little bit counterintuitive taking the entire map. Because I like to personally set up fort walls and defensive positions on that far eastern block, because depending on where your lucky or unlucky. The Mongols can spawn in a fair few places. They can spawn up towards the north. Like, you think of the entire edge of the map, right? The eastern edge. They can spawn from Russia to Georgia to Baghdad. And depending on where you are, you can face a bit more of a brunt. We want to try and keep a buffer zone, ideally, with like Turks and Egyptians and Russians. Because that's the thing as well, in my Byzantine campaign that I found, although I conquered what was the former Eastern Roman Empire territories, you have to invest so much over there to deal with the hordes. Alright, Hans can swing westward to deal with the men of Morocco. And we'll get Sigismund there. The siege equipment at Lisbon has been constructed. And we're going to be able to take out the Portuguese here. A new king has been named. And we've already won a pretty decent battle against the Portuguese. Hopefully, this is the final nail in the Portuguese coffin. And it is. Portugal is no more. As we've taken Lisbon with Otto von Kessel the Merciless. Then we've got Granada and Cordoba. And the Moors themselves only have 4 territories from what I can see. Alright, back over here. The Hungarians are still hanging about, as we're trying to build up Constantinople in that defensive position. Conrad continue eastward now into Transylvania, while Orwin can maybe start an offensive against the Poles. The Polskis. Oh yeah, what was it doing up here? Yes, we're still building siege equipment there. Right, set a waypoint for Cordoba. And we've also got some of those dismounted heavies, which is awesome. We can get some of those in the action, because it's still pretty early turns-wise. 62 turns. We're still fighting with trashed here. Sultan Ayub the Cuckold. Okay, and then Prince there. Oh wow, that could be really bad for the Moors. No way they're going to get destroyed there. Why is he hanging out with his son there in Granada? Fuck knows. I don't know. Maybe he's a cuck, that's why. I don't know. Alright. So let's move to Tripoli. And what's going on here? Theobald. A strange name. Venice is still hanging out in Crete. I completely forgot about that. Alright. Got some generals arriving. And hopefully that's the last of the Hungarian crusade for Constantinople. Conrad can go there. Good. We're on the move. Yeah, Orwin might actually be able to take Krakow. Speaking of Hamburg, let's retake the city with Mandorf that fell. Yeah, okay. Navies is where most of our losses are coming from. That's annoying. Not too much you can do about that. I just haven't invested in navies, to be honest. Who's who? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We'll marry off just fine. Heinrich von Nürnberg. Interesting name. Back against the Moors, let's fight them. So, most of their army is actually at Cordoba, which is interesting. While the prince and stuff are at Granada. I wonder if that destroys the faction. Out of curiosity. So Emperor Henry, dealing with the cuckold Sultan, is going to be able to take Granada. We've knocked out the Sultan and the Prince And no.
It was
Oh, wow.
useless to resist the Kaiser.
Notorious Berserker. Right. Sigismund, after his successful conquest of Carthage, is now pushing...
To battle.
Sorry, I thought that was Sigismund. It's Sigismund's in Tripoli, my bad. He's still dealing with the last of the Sicilians, but we are besieging Algiers. And I think that's Sicily done and dusted, as 2 cardinals just died. Yeah. Usually that's a bit of an indication. There mustn't be too many more left.
To crush Kaiser.
Okay, so they got Sofia there on the border, really? Because the Byzantines are still around as well. I thought they might have had some territory to the north. Because they've fled to
Ja, mein Kaiser.
Cyprus, haven't they?
Forward. March. Today's
There's still a couple factions I completely haven't fully wiped out.
doomed now.
As we siege out Brand now.
Battle.
Ah,
Reich.
Kalman,
Sieging army.
King of the Magyars, eh?
Ja, mein Kaiser.
Alright, back up here in Denmark. We can siege out Aarhus, which should be good. No general inside, thankfully. Denmark joins. Annoying. But so be it. They're about to fall anyway. Alright, so we've got a couple battles to deal with. I guess we work south to north. So there's going to be a fair few conflicts over the European continent. Alright, so let's take Cordoba now. We've got some more reinforcements coming on in. And Crown Prince Lukman has been given the command. We've got Ali here as well. A lot of catapults inside, which is interesting. But we might not get a fight against the Moors. We don't know what they got down in the south. So we'll fight this one. It's a shame that their cuck of a sultan didn't have an army, I guess. So let's fight this one against the Moors and try and rid the moops of Iberia, out of Iberia, I guess, and continue with the Reconquista.
Been sent here to die. See, their faking confirms that they fear what is to come.
Okay. A little bit of a ragtag bunch of units, but we got more reinforcements coming in. Thankfully, we're going to be able to get and use a bunch of feudal knights. Okay. Let's just try and, yeah. Change that ladder situation. Last thing we want is crossbowmen on there. Just break things up into a couple of army groups. Cool, let's kick things off. Now, as this is a large city with more than adequate towers to repel us, we're going to have to move 2 battering rams up at the same time and quickly try and get to the walls with those damned ladders. But so far, Prince Conrad is on a bit of a tirade in Spain. This should be his main achievement, conquering the Iberian Peninsula. Did I say Conrad? I think Henry's here. It's Conrad's in the east. My bad. Heinrich, Conrad, whatever your damn name is. It's all German to me. It's all Greek to me. I really need to rewatch Blackadder. It's so good. Rowan Atkinson is so funny. Right. Nearly here. We're making our way up onto the walls. It's pouring down with rain. It's really dusty and gloomy and murky. Yuck. You want to be in sunny Spain. Now the sun's out. Nice clear blue skies. This is awful. Not the most picturesque siege. I guess the Moors have brought their weather from the desert. As we're slowly but surely making our way on through. We've got a bunch of reinforcements to come as well, but hopefully this army is more than enough to eliminate the enemy garrison. The walls, the gateway's now been taken, and let's advance past the walls. Send the cavalry in as well. There we go. And then what? That leaves like one settlement left in Iberia for the German Empire to take. Because we want to build up and get strong enough so that we can freely throw everything we can against the Aztec Empire. That's what I'm really looking forward to. It's been a while since I've sailed to the New World in Medieval 2 Vanilla. Some people even forget or never get to that stage in the campaign because they've either won it or get bored through campaigns. Because what is... Let me know in the comments, what is the earliest time you can travel? There's a fair few factors. I feel like it's time, because like, for example, I believe the Mongols come between, what, 50, 65 turns, 70 sometimes, but it also can be due to settlements, I believe, and like the balance of power of factions can like change some stuff slightly. I could be wrong. That could be an old wives' tale or a misappropriated fact. And then there's obviously a couple of parameters to getting caravals or the equivalent, whatever faction you have. You need a huge city, I believe, and you need to be able to get a naval dockyard. But even if you do rush those things, I still think it's about turn 160 before there's an event that kicks it off as well. So hopefully we're going to be strong enough to invade the Americas. Because it's not just sort of south. There's even like Cuba and Florida and stuff as well. But this campaign will end in the future at some point. Once we've hit those objectives of taking a settlement from the Aztec Empire and dealing with the last of the Catholic factions. What are you likely to replace this with? We could do some more Medieval 2. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. The thing is, for years I've played so many mods. I've kind of neglected vanilla to somewhat, and the vanilla experience is fantastic. I've also done a bunch of Stain the Steels stuff, but it must have been like pre-YouTube. I played obviously this game a bunch of vanilla. By the time I started doing YouTube, I guess I was kind of burnt out on like the vanilla, so I was like, just mods galore. So we had like Elder Scrolls and Game of Thrones and stuff early on. But now it's like so many years later now. It feels like a new experience playing the vanilla version of the game. Let me know, mods or vanilla, in the comments. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Got to wind things up. Stay tuned for episode 10 coming out soon, where we've still got a couple more factions to deal with. Still got to deal with the Moors, still got to deal with the Danes, Hungary and Pole situation. And then we can make plans and preparations to invade the New World. We also will need to defend against Mongols and potentially Timurid invasions as we move eastward. Do want to go on crusade as well. That's a must for the Emperor. I want to try and take the Holy Land, take the Kingdom of Heaven, take back Jerusalem for the German Empire. Alright guys, take care. Gonna play the outro now. Goodbye. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you want to stay connected with me. I also want to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tao, Lion B, Kyle P, Tom C, and White P. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.